Victoria, it's been a busy few days. We've just talked about maintaining the energy, and we're trying desperately hard to do that as we get towards the close. Been a lot of debate. We've talked about agentic a lot, as of course we have to. And one of the conversations you and I have been having behind the scenes is about the ownership piece, because this is a GBS crowd, but there are folks beyond GBS vying for control of agentic. Why, in your opinion, is GBS the right owner for agentic rollout?
Great question, Ben. And just before I dive into the answer, huge thank you to yourselves and to everybody who's here for an energetic few days around the shared service week here in Amsterdam. It's been brilliant in terms of atmosphere. In terms of an answer to your question, why is GBS best placed to own, let's say, the transformation of agentic? So I think, we need to remember that with agentic, it's very much business-led and technology-enabled. And to that point, if we look historically over the last 30-odd years, our GBS organizations have often been at the forefront of transforming businesses, be that by optimizing processes, standardizing, transforming the way that we do work. And so therefore they naturally have the skills and capabilities and the drive around how to change and make change really stick and happen in organizations. So for that reason, I think they're naturally skilled and naturally placed to start to drive that transformation through the business.
So I'll tell you what I love about that answer and about the KPMG keynote yesterday as well, is it's such a positive story. I think some of us came on site ready to hear maybe agentic positioned as a threat, and I think in her keynote, Candice did a great job of debunking that. So we talk about opportunity that the moment presents, right? It's a complicated world, but there is lots of opportunity. And in the past, we've often seen shared services GBS called in to save elements of the business that aren't working because they cost too much, they're not working, we need to standardize. What's the opportunity to flip that conversation? And now, rather than talking about GBS being maybe on the back foot and coming in to save something, getting on that front foot and being a real driver of value for the enterprise?
And I think that's the key point, Ben, really, is that we are seeing that move from GBS being cost-driven and therefore being, a cost center, much more to being value-driven and therefore delivering that strategic drive for the organizations. And to that point, as we start changing into the view of what value is, value means different things to different stakeholders. It can look at experience, it can look at, obviously cash flow is important, it still will always remain king in terms of operations, but equally it's about innovation, remaining curious, and really starting to dabble, really start to play a bit and experiment. And I think GBS can be absolutely on the forefront with the fact that it has lots of functions, lots of departments centralized together. It can absolutely start to look at, well, how can we seamlessly enable value streams that line up to enterprise strategic values? How can we really ensure that we are now working across departments, across operations, and really looking at what value means end to end across services, processes, functions, and departments?
I've got to say we're doing very well, because we agreed this would be quick fire and we wouldn't go off on a tangent, so we've done really well. So to tie it all together, summarize it as we prepare to close the conference, why is the future bright for GBS and why is the model safe, provided it transforms for the future?
I think that the future couldn't be any brighter, because I think, we've had, as I mentioned, over the last 30 years, that really uphill struggle of really trying to bring GBS to the forefront, making sure that our leaders have a decision-making power at the table. We always talk about the C-suite table and having that ride. But ultimately, agentic is going to transform the way that we work. It does mean if we remain in our ways of working today as GBS, perhaps someone could argue that GBS could be dead or could be changing, in terms of its value it could add. But if we really grasp that transformation and we really lead the enterprise from the forefront, what we're starting to do there is really be that catalyst for change and bring in continuous change as technology keeps adding to our business services.
Perfect. So, Victoria, thank you. Thank you to KPMG. It's been a great partnership. Like you said at the beginning, we've so appreciated it too. We've done some great work. We'll continue to do some great work, but you heard it here. Until next time, goodbye.